welcome to another Councillors update here on the Serenity Resource Connector. Whether you're joining us live or you're watching the replay, it is a pleasure to have you here. If this is your first time tuning in, a warm welcome to you. This is the second in the series of Councillors Update, and we are hearing from the councillors out of Clarendon. So we had 2 divisions represented last month. We do this on 4th Thursdays, 8 p.m. So we had updates from Councillor Winston Maraj for the Rocky Point and Mineral Heights division. So if you missed that one, the link is right below in the description. So you want to check that out to see what's going on in those 2 divisions. So for this episode, we have Councillors Clive, Mundle, and Scean Barnswell going to be bringing updates from Frankfield and Hayes division. But before we bring them on, if you're here and you're not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, please go ahead and do so. Set your notification, comment, like, share so that others can get access to the information as we share what's happening in the different communities across Clarendon. So, no further ado, let me welcome on Councillor Clive Mundle from up north, Frankfield. Welcome to the Serenity Resource Connector, Councillor Mundle.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. And
sure.
Yes, and good evening to you and all your viewers and the listeners.
Awesome. All right. So I like to do research, So I went checking with the SDC record from 2020, and here's what I find. I found that Frankfield, it's not just Frankfield, it's a section of Frankfield for the division. Orange Hill, Peckham, Trouthall, 4 communities consisting of a total of 22 districts. That sounds like it?
Correct.
Wow. Wow. And I also realized that currently Frankfield does not have an officer, an SDC officer assigned to that area. Is that so?
That is also correct.
All right. Social Development Commission, we have some work to do. Right. Because for those who are part of the development area committees, I see Cecilia Campbell Livingston. Looking forward to this evening from over there in Longville Park. Brian Douglas is here. Brian Douglas has roots in northern Clarendon, not so far north, but from up that side. So I'm sure they are listening to hear what's going on. But for the Social Development Commission, that's something that needs to be fixed, because for those who understand the local governance structure, the councillors need those officers on the ground to help to make development take place.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
All right. So the terrain in northwest Clarendon, I don't know all of it, but I know that it's widespread. How do you communicate with the different communities to get them involved in the decision-making process?
It's kind of difficult, but usually we keep like classroom meetings, or we'll have town hall meetings, or we'll form WhatsApp group where we'll communicate to people and let them know whenever time we are having a meeting and the venue and such the like, so we can get the information out to them.
All right. So your town hall meetings are usually at the schools or you have community centers?
We have the school. The last one we kept it at the church. And the reason for that, I didn't want anybody to say it's a political meeting. So I have to have it at the church so you could have everybody come out to participate in it.
All right. It's because it's a community meeting.
Absolutely.
All right. How's the turnout? It's generally good?
Well, it's generally good because we were having some issues, especially pertaining to water. So we have a good turnout, and people came out and voiced their opinion and give their suggestion and stuff like that. And it was good.
Awesome. So where are we with the water
Well,
situation? Any progress on that?
yes, we have made progress on the water situation. NWC. That yeah, there's a progress in that. We are going through a drought now, but I haven't had any complaint from the NWC customers that they are not getting water. However, when it comes to the rural water, we are having difficulties with that because if you know geographical area of the Frankfield division and its environment, it's like it's a very hilly terrain, and so we have challenges with water truck have to bring water to the resident because they are afraid of the hill.
Someone has to do it. All
Yeah.
right. For those who missed the local governance and community development series for last year, 2022, you want to go back because we went through all of that as it relates to the difference between the NWC and the rural water supply and where the locations are. The whole playlist is there, so you can check it out and get more information as to the different operations of the municipal corporation and how they serve these different communities. All right. I'm glad that we've made some progress where that is concerned.
Yes.
So we trust that it will continue to improve. And as you're
Absolutely.
talking about progress, infrastructure improvements, how are you managing this one? Because Northern Clarendon is usually after you pass the nice highway and go up.
Well, well, it's after you pass the highway and go just like what you said. We have some roads that are not so in good condition. But as you fairly stated, just like with NWC and rural water, there's also a distinction with parochial roads and the NWA roads. And you know, a lot of times people mistakenly and they think that the councillor is responsible for everything. But
Right.
all the roads that are on the main, they are NWC, NWA, which come under the portfolio of the Member of Parliament. The side roads are the parochial road, which come under the portfolio of the council and the municipal corporation.
Right. I can imagine if the main roads are not good, then the parochial roads are in need of grave repair. Is that the reality?
That's not the case in more.
Okay.
No, that's not the case.
Sounds good. Tell
We
us more.
yes, we try our best with the limited resources that we get to make sure that our parochial roads are in good conditions. So most of them are in good conditions. Yes. And a lot of times we keep up with this road because if you have like a flood, especially in the Frankfield area, when you have a flood and then the main road is cut off, then the alternative route is the parochial road to get to the town centers and to go where about your business. So we try our endeavor best to make sure that they are in a good, fairly good condition.
Oh, okay. That sounds hopeful. That sounds good. At least not all is not lost.
All is
So, right. So it's just a matter of more collaboration in terms of getting the work done. But that's a whole other episode by itself in terms of addressing that part. So we'll have to flesh that out. But we're doing it in bite sizes so we can have a better understanding as to how local government, local governance operate in the parish.
yes.
I love this. Roger, welcome, Roger. Roger Lewis said, difficult roads lead to beautiful destinations. I really enjoy the breathless views from Frankfield Hills. Lest we forget, we have to big up our world class champions from right up Edwin Allen. All right. And I'm sure we have some Edwin Allen past students connecting here. Thank you, Roger. Thanks for joining. Roger Lewis is the president for the Clarendon Parish Youth Council. So we have the youth representation here. All right,
Yes.
Councillor. All right, we have quite a bit to cover. So with all of that that's happening, in terms of environmental issues, what are some of the concerns of that side and how you're dealing with those?
Well, when it comes to environment, just like you would have people who don't dispose of their garbage properly. I mean, that is an environmental issue. It was just yesterday, for instance, I was in Frankfield, perfect example. And I mean, the garbage is being collected regularly there on a regular basis. However, the dumpster that the garbage is being stored in, somebody went there and light the dumpster. And I was like, people need to be educated about these things because this can cause serious impact on your health and on the environment. And I said, moreover, if NSWMA, if they come to collect the garbage at that moment, it was impossible for them because the garbage thing is lit. So, you know, we have to just mindful of our surrounding and our environment and try to keep our environment clean and, you know, touch the light.
Right. Because not just the environment, because that poses a risk to life and property as
Absolutely.
well.
Yes.
So, and all it takes is one mishap like that to erode all the wonderful work that you all are doing up there. But I'm happy to hear that you have good garbage collection system up that side.
Yeah, I do.
That is great news.
Yeah.
That's great news. I'm sure some other areas in the parish might not be that privileged, but we'll hear more from the other
Yeah.
councillors. All right. So, in terms of economic development, I know it's usually a challenge of that side. You have a lot of urban migration because when our young people go off to university, they don't return. So what's happening up that side? Any
You you
economic activities?
you are correct about that. It's a great challenge up here. Basically, in Frankfield, the only thing that actually drives Frankfield or keep Frankfield going is Edwin Allen, to be honest with you. We don't have a factory up here. We don't have manufacturers. All we have is like grocery stores, supermarket, bars, wholesales. So just as you stated before, when the student, when they graduate from college or whatever, there is absolutely nowhere in Frankfield for them to come back and get a job. So, you know, they have to migrate, whether they're gonna go overseas or whether they stay in the Kingston area. The metro, yeah, there are better opportunities there. So we would love for some development here because at one point in time, you know, there was factories in Frankfield. We had the railway at one point, and that's where they used to carry their produce, like their bananas and stuff like that, and go. And at one point in time, we have done Chotal. We have the coffee factory that you know,
Yes.
yes, that used to employ people. We also have the Sharp property down there. They used to have the best oranges, and
Yes,
now,
and good
yeah,
ugly.
exactly, and the good
Yes.
ugly. Yes, so I mean, those things are gone. But if we could get back some development in Frankfield, then Frankfield would be a better community and a better place.
Well, or alternatively, we might have to look at rebranding some of these spaces in the parish and see how we do some networking to keep the economic activities alive. But that's a whole other discussion. But
Yes,
it's good that we're hearing more, and I trust that the viewers are getting a better understanding of some of the challenges that you're faced with in the different locations. What exactly is being done to actually support? If do we have any recruitment drive? Most of the recruitment drives are usually in Central Clarendon, even for
yes.
job fairs.
We do have some job fairs, and we do
Okay.
do have recruitment, but sometimes it's kind of challenging because most of the time, just like what you said, the training or this will be in central Clarendon. Sometimes the people don't have the fare to pay to go back and forth, and the lunch and the money for their lunch and stuff like that. So it's a challenge. It's a challenge, but it's something that we are working on.
Okay. Are there any heart partnerships of that side?
No, there is no art
Not in your
partnership.
division?
Not in my division. We are trying to see if we can have something at Edwin Allen, but there's nothing in place as yet.
I have a lot of work to do. Where are they? Because we have to remember, that even though we're not living in this space anymore, we can still seek to support to ensure that there are some people who stay back, because we need to make sure that there are some people who are staying back to keep those land farms so we can have food to eat.
Absolutely, you're
Because
correct.
you still have quite a bit of farming in your division, right?
Yeah. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
All right, awesome. And in terms of sale of the produce, are they leaving the parish, or
Most
how's
of
the
it,
market in Frankfield and those areas?
there's a market in Frankfield, but it's like on a small scale. So most of the farmers, they either sell their produce to, sometimes you have the truck that come around and buy the produce, because it's basically they cultivate yam on a large scale, yellow yam, and a large scale. So you'll have the truck that comes around and buys it. The other stuff like goes to the Frankfield market are predominantly to the Mapen market.
Okay. What are some of the other produce from up that side?
They have bananas, they have oranges, they have sugar cane. Yes.
Okay, but the yam most time go maybe end up in Coronation Market.
The yam mostly goes for export.
Export.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Yes.
So how can we get some more young people involved in that so we can expand that?
Well,
There's an opportunity.
it is an opportunity, but that's a challenge. You and I know young people, they don't really want to do farming now.
Some of them, because
Some,
interestingly, there's one that's doing some small scale farming. I'm not sure if it's in your division, but I'll check it out
mhm.
and see what can be done, because
Yeah.
they need support.
But what happened, is when they do the farming and it's ready, as I said, you have somebody who come around, usually with a truck, and they give them an order. And like, for instance, if they're coming today, then
Right.
they will dig their yams and they will put it at the roadside. They will come and they will wait, and then they will pay them for it,
Oh, Lord, I
which
hope
is
they don't
which,
pay them pennies.
no, man, which is a good thing, because when they take it to the market, when you give it to the eagle to go to the market, you have to wait until they come back to get paid.
Ah,
But the
indeed.
pay is,
Okay, awesome. Once the
yeah,
economics work out. All right, so
ex-
Kimon is asking, is the market in operation now?
the
I think
market
it is the Frankfield market.
the market has been divested, and there's a part of the market that is under renovation. That's the eagle is gonna be there. You're also gonna have a part, the canteen that they are fixing up to make it more friendly, that more people will come there and do business, and you probably can come there and sit and have a lunch, or have a date and come there. You have a date and come to the market. That's how the MC is gonna refurbish everything, so it's gonna be very attractive. Yes.
Yes, and we have our commercial services personnel here, Miss Francis, responding to Miss Montague. The market is to be renovated. All
Yes.
right, so we're coming out brand new.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And just in case you all missed that episode with the Commercial Services Department, you can go back and check it out and get some additional information. All right. Glad you're comfortable, Kimon. Awesome. All right. Let's hear what Roger is saying again, because we only portray framing farming as planting, but there are many aspects to it and they don't know. All right, Rajay, some work to be done there. See a lot of opportunities coming out here. We just need to flesh out the ideas, the right minds coming together, and we can make it happen. All right. Social services. Do you have any homeless situation in your division?
Well, we not really homeless, but we have people that are living in less than ideal conditions. Yeah, but they are not really on the street.
Okay.
There, for example, there was one particular person that was living in the division, and when it was brought to my attention, her condition, I, went there and along with the municipal corporation, and we went on a platform, and you know, long story and short story, she ended up getting a nice house from,
Awesome. All
yes, from
right.
Food for the Poor that was donated by Mr. Ewan Blake, and her daughter also got an house too. So whenever we see this situation, we just try to see how best we can assist them to the MC and other agencies.
Awesome. And that is why it's so important for the network in the community to function the way they ought to, because we're supposed to be picking up on these things and pass them on to the next level if we're not able to deal with them.
Yes.
Right. But I'll go through that and in another forum in terms of explaining the different operations in the parish and how everything comes together and how you can support and be a part of the change. All right, Miss Francis, it's great to have you. Council has great plans to develop the market to spark economic growth. And this is very timely because now I want Councillor to share with the viewers what's your vision for your division, the Frankfield division.
Well, my vision is a great vision. I don't know how many people have traveled, but if you have traveled and go to like the first world country, then I would love for Frankfield, whenever time anyone come to Frankfield, they are wondering where in Jamaica they are. I would want Frankfield to be like, um, I've been to some place in Florida where you see good development, and everything is in order. You have a good structure and people obey the law, and people adhere to the rules and regulation. And I mean, you have like a bank, and you have like a place where people can go and work, and also you have a place where people can go for relaxation, to ease back and relax and enjoy themselves. So it's a lot, but I mean, we just need resources. If we have the resources, I'm sure we can accomplish it.
Indeed. So we
Yes,
all need to just pull together to make it happen, put
yes.
together the plan and work the plan, identify where you can get the resources. And I'm sure there are some counselors who writes a lot of projects. The Social Development Commission able to do projects. So if we have the information coming out and the parish development committee does projects from time to time. So if we put those together and pull all the resources that we have access to on board, I'm sure it can happen. Sure, it can happen. Great plans that you
Yes.
have there, as Ms. Francis says. So we just need to share more about what exactly is being done and where the resources are needed, because there are different areas that we can segment. Like we have Roger Lewis on now. So in terms of getting things moving for the young people with the farming, we need to pull all of those people together so we can see how best we can put something in place so that we can re-socialize. Because a lot of what I'm hearing from you is gonna require a lot of re-socialization
Whole
to
lot.
change the way we operate, even
Yeah.
in terms of the burning,
Mm-hmm.
because that's something that's ingrained. Because I grew up in northern Clarendon, seeing not so far north,
Mhm.
but seeing burning taking place. We never knew about any garbage truck coming around to collect garbage. So those are some of the things that we're gonna have to
Yes,
re-socialize. Yes,
to change our.
especially right, because it's not just the older folks, but
Yes,
some of these things have been passed down. So we're
yes.
gonna have to do a lot of education around that. All
Yep.
right. But that's why the Serenity Resource Connector is here. So I'll be happy to facilitate the process. All right. All
Yes.
right. Any upcoming events, any announcements, what's coming up in Frankfield area?
Well, there is nothing upcoming other than Champs. You know, Champs is coming up. The great,
Okay, and Edwin Allen is
the great,
Edwin Allen is really the life of Frankfield.
yeah. And we will try to retain our title.
Okay.
Yes, so you know that is a major event. Yes, yeah. Other than that, when it comes to project, and so there are projects that we have written some projects, and we are waiting on answers from the various agencies. Yeah.
Okay. What areas are you looking at for those projects? What areas?
Well, what I try to do, there's an area called effort, and I think that area would be very suitable for a tourist attraction. Tourist attraction in the
Okay.
it's a nice river. It's called the Thomas River. It's a nice river, and I mean it have a lot of potential.
Beautiful. All
Yes.
right. Is that a part of the parish local sustainable development plan? Because I know we have quite a number of areas that were earmarked for that kind of development.
No, that is not a part of it, but
Okay.
it's something that the CMC had sent out some rep to look at, and they have looked at it, and they're in dialogue with TPDCO. Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful. Now that would be something new. All right.
Yes.
Cecilia is saying correction. They, as in Edwin Allen, will retain the title. So let's see what happens. I told you we had some Edwin Allen past students
Yeah.
here. Counselor, thank you so much. Is there any final thing that you'd like to share in the space?
Well, my final thing is that have we have tried to do a lot of things in the Frankfield division. We have rehabilitated a myriad of roads, retaining walls, directional signs, street names, street lights. We have rehabilitated the catchment tank. Um, we have done bus shelters, and the work continue. We have, continue to do what is necessary for the citizens of Frankfield so that their life can be better. And and the work continues.
Okay, awesome. All right. Let me correct it before we get knocked out. So Cecilia is Clarendon College cheering for Edwin Allen. All right. It's good to share the love.
Yeah.
Kimon is asking if there are any projects or skills training for the young people in the area.
Not really in the air, but there from time to time when the Archus NTA is recruiting, then we try to get the information out there to the young people. And then they in turn would go to Ebony Park or wherever the training is taking place. But we make sure that we give them the information.
All right. Sounds like Kimon wants to be a part of this team in of that side, Frankfield Division, to help propel some of these things. Kimon,
Uh,
there always room for
yes,
more hands on board, right?
that's right.
All right. Thank you so much, Councillor Clive Mundle from the Frankfield Division, for sharing with us. I trust that this information will be useful and that those in the division and across the parish have a better understanding of what exactly is happening in the Frankfield division, what it is that you want to get done, and they'll reach out to see how best they can support you in getting it done. All right. Thank you
Thank you for
so
having.
much. My pleasure. All
Okay.
right. Awesome. All right. So that was Councillor Clive Mundle from the Frankfield division sharing what's going on in that space. And Councillor Mundle makes way for our next councillor update for this episode, Councillor Scean Barnswell. I'm sure Councillor Scean Barnswell is no stranger to most of you all here. Councillor Barnswell, it's great to have you.
Hi, Mr. Smitha. Thanks for having me, and good evening to you and your viewers.
Pleasure. Right. When the interagency network started out, Councillor Barnswell was the chairman there, and we did some great work. All right. One quick thing that Roger wants to add here: Heart and Estate Trust has a good work program for unattached youth. All right. Asking Councillor Mundle to make the connection and get some of the young people gainfully employed. Amazing. All right. Yes. Roger, thank you for the reminder. Yes, Councillor Barnswell, representing his division.
That's correct.
And let me share with the viewers what I found out about his. So his division is a part of the Lioneltown development area, and it's in Southeast. That's a constituency.
That's correct. That's correct.
And the Hayes division consists of two communities, Salt River and Hayes. Total of 15, according to the SDC record up to 2020, 15 districts.
No, I think it's the other way around. It's 2 districts, 15 communities.
How many?
It's roughly 15 communities. 2 districts, Salt River and Hayes.
Okay, all right. I need to double check the records
Yes.
on that one. All right. So a little less than Frankfield, but in terms of the layout, how is that in terms of the communication mechanism?
All right. Well,
Salt River.
Well, Salt River is a part of it going further east.
Yes.
All right. Well, yeah, east, yeah, right. Eastern part, going back that side, right. But the Hayes district itself has many communities, as I said. I think roughly 10, 12, I would say, communities within Hayes, including the housing scheme, phase 1 and phase 2, and the Monimus housing scheme. So it is really, I would say, what's the word I'm looking for? It's condensed, not the proper word. It's more of a cluster in terms of community setting. So to access Salt River, you have to go back onto the main road, and then, to access Salt River is more by itself, not as close as the other communities within the Hayes area. But it's relatively has its ups and downs, has its challenges, just like in other communities or in other divisions within the parish itself. One thing I enjoy about Hayes, though, is the mere fact that we are closely knit. It's almost like a family division, so to speak. When you check it out and check the different relationship between persons living within, you realize that most persons are related in Hayes itself. For my family itself, it's really a large one, very large family that I have in Hayes, so I have to be careful.
All right, amazing. So the network, what communication modes do you use currently to engage?
All right, to engage the people in general, we have, well, as someone who visits church or churches, then we get the message out. You get the message out to the youth club. There was a youth club that is functioning, so you get the message out at the youth club. You have the Hayes CDC, so we get the message out through the Hayes CDC. You get the message out through a WhatsApp group, may it be political or non political. So you get the message out through that. You get the message out just by interacting with people. whether it's at the corner, whether it's at the bar, whether it's at the football field, whether it's just walking on or driving on the road. Person will
Right.
engage you or interact with you and ask you various questions as it relates to the community and their welfare.
Okay. And how does that feed into the development process the, that guides the projects and so on that you take care
Well,
of?
that is what really guides as it relates to what needs to be done,
Okay.
and you're able to say to them the challenges you're experiencing, and you'll be able to get from them their input as it relates to why this project, for example, why this road needs to be done over my community road. When you explain to them the challenges, the state, the condition, the intended purpose, purpose meaning that how many persons it will serve if it is fixed compared to yours. It's a challenge, and it's something which you have to be careful you walk between the raindrops, I may say, because everybody want their road to be fixed now. But it's a matter of how you're able to relate to them, or you're able to communicate to them, and you get a buy-in from them. But once you promise them that the next time around will be their community, ensure that you get it done, because they will not forget. They
You
will not.
better.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. I have to ask you this one because I was engaging with a chamber president from another parish as it relates to the engagement with the community groups themselves. How do you navigate that? For example, if you say you go to the youth, like the youth meetings, the youth group meetings.
Well, the youth club is not, well, I know of one presently functioning within the division itself. Recently, I had the annual general meeting. I think it's a year now since they have um, in, been created. But I
Right.
wasn't able to attend that AGM. But I know they are functioning. I know they have their regular meeting. And they would have reached out to me from time to time asking me various questions on how they can able to get some support or assistance from the municipal corporation or from my office to help them in whatever project that they may want to undertake.
Right. All right. Let me commend the councillors that I have been engaging with in Clarendon because based on feedback that we've gotten, I stand corrected, but for the community development groups, for the better part, I believe they're able to engage with their councillors. Is that what's coming out at the council meeting in
The
terms of
community develop, say again? I didn't get
like the
that.
community development committees? Are the councillors actively engaging with these groups?
Yes, well, I've participated in a series of meeting recently with as I said, the CDC, and I must commend the team who participated in the SDC domino, I think, and cricket competition recently
Yeah.
held event in St. Anne, and his team did well. So I want to commend them. So yes, we are very much active and getting involved in the different discussion or development plans for the area.
All right, fantastic. We want to keep that going. That's a positive right there.
It
And we
is.
want to
It
make
is.
sure we keep that going. And if there are any counselors to come that's not actively engaging, we want to make sure you fix that before we come here because we want to make sure that we're sharing. All right, to the youth president telling us that the Hayes Police Youth Club is one of the most active clubs in Clarendon. All right, so something great. I wonder if it's because of the family camaraderie that's going on down there.
No, I agree with the president there. Active indeed, very active. Since COVID, I realized though that many of these um, NGOs have been dormant. Now that things is now fully opening up, I'm expecting that they'll be meeting more regularly because I intend to attend some of these meetings. But I must commend the leadership of the Hayes Police Youth Club. Tremendous job and step in the right direction because you would have known that, as I said earlier, that Hayes has its ups and downs, its challenges. We would have
Right.
seen quadruple murder, we would have seen triple murder, we would have seen double murder, we would have had killings just from time to time. But with the help of these entities, and it really helps us to try to diffuse or what you would call crime prevention
Prevention.
measures being put in place to deal with some of these issues that we've been experiencing in the past.
Right. Because I know that through the youth group, the over umbrella group, there have been a number of intervention in the Hayes area, even during the COVID period. So that's great. All right. Community development projects. Are there any, whether on a small scale, going on?
Well, I've started. Well, I will just list two quick ones. The solar lighting. There was an area. I think it's in Newton phase one going to phase two, Queens Highway. We did not have any secondary JPS power line. It was very dark, so people used to complain about their safety going to work, coming from work, going home. And we lit that here with some solar lights, and it bring much relief to the residents as it relates to their safety, what to commute along that corridor at various time of the night. That is something I want to expand on. There is an area in phase two where there is no secondary JPS light. There's also a multi-purpose court. This multi-purpose court was built in 2007, and I realized that the youth would use it for the basketball games, but as soon as the sun set, there's no light in there. So that's an area which I intend to erect solar lighting for them so they could benefit from it. And the surrounding homes would also benefit from that light because it's pretty dark in that area. So that is one project which I intend to expand on. The Raymond's Community Center is something which we have started some work there. We have renovated the center. We have retrofit the bathrooms. We have installed ceiling fans. We have improved the lighting. We have installed whiteboards. We have provided tables and chairs with a view that that center would be a resource center. We have some challenges. The challenges that we're experiencing is that we need computers because we were anticipating that during the COVID period when we were having kids staying home or the online classes, that facility would have come in very useful. So would provide the devices, and for those who already have the tablets and their laptop would have come and access the Wi-Fi services and able to stay online and do their classwork. But we had some challenges there. It never materialized then. But I'm not giving up. It's something which we are still pushing. I know that the new Social Development Commission, no, SDC, Social Development Commission
Yes.
Officer, Miss Gomez, I think is her name, is on board. And this is one of our projects, which I know she'll be glad to come on board, assist us in getting this to become a reality because it will bring much benefit for the community of not only Raymonds, but adjoining communities such as Savannah, such as Newtown, and the Money Must Housing Scheme would benefit tremendous from this. The While this is really a central government project, but it's something which was initiated by me, and it was completed in 2020, and that is the Salt River Water Project. Salt River was without water for some 50 years. And I said to the resident there at a homecoming service that if it's the last thing I do for their community is to get pipe water in their house. And to God be the glory. They I can now attest that they have pipe water in their house.
Amen.
So that's a project. But there's an adjoining community beyond the Salt River, which is called Tarentum, and they have no pipe water. So that is another project which I'll be lobbying central government for further extension of the pipe water line to Tarentum. Again, this other project not really funded by the municipal corporation, but it's another brainchild of mine from 2006, and that is the Salt River Mineral Spa. That is something which we want to develop as it's an attraction site, but we want to make it more user friendly. We want to have the layout properly done so that persons can come and feel comfortable dining or just relaxing and enjoying the mineral spa itself. So that is something which is ongoing. I want to say thanks to the Tourism Development Fund, the Tourist Enhancement Fund, for their support in funding the whole improvement and the aesthetics in that location. But it's an ongoing project, and I want to commend the residents and also the users and the operators for working with the municipal corporation because this is their livelihood. If I may just share with you that when I was very much younger, so, to ride my bicycle from here to Salt River, and
Oh,
we would have gone to the back of the facility where it's much deeper, so it is where we would like to really enjoy ourselves. And to see it has now developed into what it is today, it's really a plus, and I'm really happy for it that it happened. And that is something I'll be working closely with the residents to ensure that it becomes a destination, a tourism destination for southern Clarendon. So something we're working on.
Awesome. All right. Some great things happening in Hayes, and we haven't even scratched the surface as yet. I saw some awesome videos where you were sharing that some road work was being done down that side. What areas have you covered so far?
Well, road works is something which we have been doing. We try to do 2 roads each year, in not only in the Hayes division but in all divisions itself. So recently we had do some overlaying in the Top Hill community. That section that was one of the best road in Hayes, I must tell you. But we had been having some unexpected rainfall, and the road surface got damaged from the last 2 years. And as a result, we had some huge holes created within the road surface itself, or the road itself. So we decided that we want to protect and preserve what is left of it. So we did some overlaying, and this looked far much better. Now I'm getting not complaints, but commendations, sorry, from residents that much improvement. And others who use it would have called and asked when you will be coming to my community, which is the Cornpiece Road, which is also in a bad state. But it is work in progress. We only can do as soon as funds is available to us. And this is something I keep telling persons, that the next time it will be theirs. But we have done some good works. I must say commendation again to the National Housing Trust. And for those who would have known the new town housing scheme phase 1, wow, it was in a bad state, terrible state.
Wow.
But then the NHT started a program where they have started to rehabilitate some housing scheme roads. I think it's 100 schemes that they plan to do, benefit from this program. And the National Housing Trust renovate, rehabilitate. When I said renovate, in terms of the drainage system, the covering, rehabilitate the roadway by resurfacing it with asphaltic concrete. And the residents, they are very happy with it. However, where there's improvement, there's also another challenge. People tends to be speeding on these roads. The
Oh,
bike guys are speeding, those who drive are speeding, and we just need to tell people to be careful. I know persons are tempted to install what it's called speed humps or sleeping policemen, but it is illegal. And as I've said to residents, we have a policy at the parish council. You apply to us, seeking permission from the council, or asking the council to erect these speed bumps or sleeping policemen in communities. Or if they want to do it, there's a certain dimension in which it must be constructed, but it must be supervised by the municipal corporation. So this is something I'll be approaching the municipal corporation about, the speeding within the communities and what we can do to reduce it and minimize it. But it's work in progress, and I'm happy that I'm able to do quite a bit of roads within. But nevertheless, I think we need more money to do more than what we're doing.
oh, oh, that's always the situation, right? Because
It
there's
is.
always something else to be done, and the funds are limited. But I'll be doing some more research on that area before we share on it.
I want to talk about roads. We're talking about some 40 odd roads we have in here, not counting the housing schemes roads. So it's a
Yeah.
lot of roads there, limited resources to get them fixed. And it hurts my heart when I have to drive on it and see the condition that they're in. And people may sometimes feel that I'm not doing enough to get them fixed. But without the money, there's little or nothing you can do. But what
Yeah,
it calls for, however, it's collaboration, it's partnership
that's right.
with private entities, and like Jamalco, that is there operating next door to us, like the private contractors within the community itself who can come on board and assist, whether with equipment or whether with trucks or whether with a load of mall or two. But that is how, we have been working to get things done within the division itself.
Awesome. Great work with being done. And with all those promises, I would imagine that you have some great administration going on to remember who you've made promise to.
Well, the challenge with that is that sometimes I don't have my diary with me, and sometimes they will just call me and say, "I talked to you about something," but they didn't say what their name is. I would remember the person's voice. But once I said the name, I said, "Oh yes, that person from Raymond's. Oh yes, they speak to me the other day at Hayes Square." But they figure that once they call my phone and said, "Me, Councillor, how you do?" Right away, I know exactly what is it that they're calling me to talk to me about. But so many persons talk to you each day, it's difficult to remember everybody.
Totally understand. Economic let's move to economic. I know in terms of environmental, you have some of those, but the economic part, this is always a big thing. What's going on with the that project that's supposed to be taking place in Hayes? It's a factories corporation of Jamaica.
Yes.
What's going on with that?
Well, we Factories Corporation lease a section of its space to Fosrich, which is a lighting company.
Okay.
They mostly do repairing of transformer. I think JPS is their main customer. So very little employment happen. I mean, they may be employ a person to do ancillary works there, but very little employment that entity really produce for Hayes at this time. I expect that as they progress, they will be able to take on more person. The opportunity is limited. Only Jamaica that is there, and it can only employ so much and no more.
Right.
Just recently, someone was telling me that their work hours or days reduced from 5 days or a week to 3 days, based again on availability of work. So we have the Jamaica, we have the New Fortress Energy that is there, but this company itself is operated by it's fully computerized, New Fortress Energy. So again, you maybe employ a person there again for ancillary work, just to maybe to clean the yard or the office space or to do remedial works from time to time. One of the main negative impact on his is when the Money Must Sugar factory closed. And I must say to you that as a son of an employee, my dad works there for 46 years.
Oh,
And I must tell you that many family within his and other joining communities, family members would have worked at Monimus, and that would have provided livelihood. But since the closure of Monimus, it has created hardship for the people, not only in his Salt River, Lionel Town, you name it, going all the way back to racecourse. Because person would have worked at the factory, person would have worked in the field, persons would have do other things which is not directly related to the Money Sugar factory. And they will benefit from it when these
right.
employees would receive their fortnightly pay or monthly pay. So with that being closed, it has created a void in terms of employment opportunity. So persons now doing different things to survive. And what they are now doing is having their different parties. What they are now doing is having different activities which generate an income for them to survive. And that has somehow helped to some extent, but the job opportunity is lacking. We have several highlands that is there now. But what happens that after the closure of Monimus, I'm not sure if it is the owner of the factory who did it or whom, but persons went and they dismantled these irrigation wells.
Wow.
So they not only removed the electrical wirings, but they removed the pump itself and they removed the shaft of the pump. So everything is now in state of ruins. So even if we want to put back those pump into use, it would cost thousands of dollars to restore them. And I think that was really a sad thing, a bad thing, because person would have now been putting those land into use. As we speak about food security, I've seen an article recently where in UK they were dependent on Spain and Africa to provide them with some level of fruits, but because of the temperature that they're now experiencing, those fruits are producing low yield. So I'm just saying that everywhere you go, there is a food security issue. But we could have been doing something here in Lower Clarendon, but without proper water and access to land, person not able to see that part of their dreams realized.
Indeed. So much to cover. It's just awesome sharing. Social services. What's going on in his as it relates to that?
For social services, again, we depend solely on the municipal corporation and the member of parliament who would have at his disposal the constituency development fund to assist person with whatever social assistance. At the parish council, we used to receive what it's called housing repair and funeral grants, although minimal, but it still helps. But we have not seen that in a little while. And as a result, we are not able to respond to some of the requests from persons who maybe need a door, a front door, or a few sheet of zinc, or a 2 sheet of ply, or even a bag or 2 bags of cement to improve on their housing stock. Because the housing stocks within the area, it's really appalling, I must say. Recently, we visited a lady and her house is not in a good state. Again, we have to be appealing to private citizens for help. I know the Food for the Poor would come in from time to time to help, but many of these persons are not really the bona fide owner for this property. They're either on informal settlement, so there's no ownership. So it's difficult for Food for the Poor to assist. But for
Right.
those who really own their land, the challenge is that we don't have the resources to help them to repair their houses. And this is something I think not only the municipal corporation, not the municipal corporation, sorry, the government need to look at the housing stocks across the length and breadth of Jamaica. People are living in some house now, and Jamaica being in the hurricane zone, we will have a similar fate like what happened back then during Gilbert and other previous hurricane. And we're just hoping it doesn't happen, but we need to pay attention to the housing stock and the state of the housing stock within the communities or within the country itself. So that's a challenge and something we cannot let it go unnoticed.
All right, so that's something to be added to the list of things that need urgent attention. We
Yeah.
are running close to the 1 hour mark, but we must hear your vision for the Hayes division.
Well, the vision for Hayes is to see our recreational grounds be restored to its intended purpose. And I'm making reference to the Hayes ball ground. That is something which many of us are accustomed to, playing corner league and cricket, whatever it is. I would need to get that place restored to a place where we can now have a proper recreational ground. Yes, the Wembley Sports Club is there, but we need another one or additional ones within the area itself. Part of my vision for the era is to see where there's more job opportunities being created. Again, this will take collaboration between the government, central government, and private sector group for this to realize. And another vision of mine is for his to be a very peaceful place, a place where everybody feels comfortable living, where everybody feels comfortable raising their family, a place where everybody feel at home and feel comfortable living. And this calls upon the diasporas to really give a helping hand and to help to build and to create that environment in his because every household in his have somebody living abroad. And if everybody contribute, what a better place, what a good place his will be. And I've committed myself to it because that is where I born and grow and that is where my family is living.
Amazing. I trust you're hearing the appeal because it takes all hands on deck to make it happen. All right. Upcoming events, announcements for Hayes. What's going on down Hayes?
Well, for upcoming events, we are planning, when I said we, myself and the Municipal Corporation, in collaboration with the Social Development Commission, we'll be planning a job and information fair, and this will be held at the Raymond's Community Center in April. And also in April, there is a community who, well, the organizers for this event is from Top Hill, and they'll be putting on a kite festival in April as well. And that is a family event. So, those two events will be something good for the residents of East to participate in. One, to get the information, and two, to information is related to what are the things you need to get a job, what are the things you need if you want to do banking. And the Kite Festival is to bring family and friends together, to socialize, to interact. So it's two good events planned for April.
Awesome. All right. Amazing stuff. Thank you
Is
so much. All right. Ava, do stop by next door Salt River Mineral to experience the Portland Bite Discovery Center to an awesome eco-edu experience offered by Caribbean Coastal Area Management Foundation, CCAM for short. Thank you, Ava. All right. And thank you so
how
much.
could I forget about the CCAMP facility
CCAM.
next door to the Saltram Mineral Spa? And them have an excellent bird watch view there. For persons who want to go with their family and just hang out and watch the birds, perfect place to be.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ava. So kind of you. And Cecilia is endorsing. Happy to be able to provide you with this beautiful view, virtual view of Clarendon, because we have to share the great stuff that's happening there in Clarendon. We just need more in terms of collaboration to make these visions a reality. All right, we're on the 1 hour mark. But I must let you know that the Clarendon Parish Development Committee Benevolent Society is inviting all Clarendonians to a virtual town hall meeting on Thursday, March 2nd. That's next week, Thursday at 5 p.m. via Zoom under the theme Road Safety in Clarendon and the New Road Traffic Act 2018. The guest speaker is going to be Dr. Lucian Jones, Road Safety Administrator. Check out their social media pages to get the information, or check with your community group. The information is being circulated there. So you want to connect for that so you can get some additional information. From another perspective, we got information directly from the Jamaica Constabulary Force on this program. Second Thursday, so you can go back and check that out. Some awesome information shared there. But we're going to have Dr. Lucian Jones sharing from the Road Safety Administrator's perspective some of those things that you need to be looking out for. Thanks again, Councillor Barnswell, for sharing space here.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Absolute pleasure, because we need to be hearing some more of what's going on in Clarendon, what's good with Clarendon. That's what we're all about here at the Serenity Resource Connector. What's great with Clarendon, what's happening, and how we can all get on board to make things happen faster so that we can all live in an awesome space. Thanks again for those who are able to join us live. For those who are watching the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to subscribe, set your notification bell, share the information, leave a comment on the page, because I understand that the more you engage with the information, the more people will see it. We have on average 1.5 thousand views each month, but we want to make sure that we increase that. Increase the subscriber count as well. All right? All right. Thank you so much again. Have yourself a great night, and remember to connect with us. Next week is First Thursday. It's Culture Corner. So see you next Thursday, same time, same place. Thanks again, councillors.
Goodbye.